And it's always fun to come back. I love seeing all the art, being in this space, and in my yoga teaching and other offerings as they continue to shift, I like to be able to kind of float in and out different places and kind of shine the light when needed. So not that anybody was needing, although I do believe we're always exactly where we need to be. And today we have the beautiful experience of being here at Bell Arts Factory. So we're going to practice Gong Yoga Nidra today. Has anyone practiced Yoga Nidra before?
No? I dabble. I did see.
Cool. So Yoga Nidra is a sleep yoga practice. It is very restorative. You go into a deep meditative state, and it's similar to getting about 8 hours of sleep. And what we do is we go through the different kosha systems within our body, and we set our intentions, which is a sankalpa, and then we open the practice. We go into body awareness on the right, the left side, front and the back side. Then we do some breath awareness and sensation and senses. And then we go into a guided meditation practice, which will be accompanied by the gong and a few other instruments. I'm also a Reiki master, so there is Reiki flowing, and it's going to give you exactly what you need. If you are not open to receiving, totally okay. If you are open to receiving, as we get into this, I will ask you to give yourself permission to receive. All is cool. Your job today literally is just to relax. Try not to attach or create a story or stick to any one thing I'm saying for too long. Our mind will often go there. Totally okay. Just when you are aware, bring yourself back to the breath and see if you can, if you will, kind of bounce around a little bit with what's going on. I promise you there's no right or wrong. So whatever you do today is perfect. Showing up, best gift you can give yourselves. Beyond that is just, if you will, the whipped cream and the cherry on top, if that's your thing. A little caramel sauce, I like that. And yeah, does anybody have any questions about what we're gonna do? So you get to lay down the whole time, which is really cool. So you can have your head towards me, you can have your head towards the back of the room, you can do laying on your side if that feels good. I will say that emotion, which is energy in motion, feelings, sensations, maybe pain, laughter, joy, memories, etc., probably could come up. And when I say probably could, anything is possible. You may go to sleep. Awesome. Prayer naps are great. I've done it for years. Not missing out on anything, still doing the work. And then at the end of the practice, I'll bring us back. We'll close this space and you will be able to go on to your merry way. If you want to, at the end, share any feedback or what you experienced, that's always fun. Don't have to do any of that at all. So with that, I invite you to find your most comfortable position, laying down at this time in your Shavasana. So Shavasana is the practice that we work towards in yoga. I should say the practice of yoga. We work towards a Shavasana, that stillness. And a lot of times we are really busy in our minds and in our outward and everywhere in between, and our Shavasana ends up being short, or we are in our mind and the thoughts keep going and we start to get to the to-do list or thoughts of the past, etc. As we're in this extended Shavasana, we're going to be guided. We'll be guided through, as I mentioned, some different areas and different sensations and feelings. And I had the pleasure of working with my teacher, Matab, one of my teachers, when I was in Costa Rica almost 4 years ago. And and he has written a couple of books. He's a gong master, really awesome inspiration. I just want to share with you quickly as we're settling in here what he says about the gong and Gong Yoga Nidra. He says the practice of Yoga Nidra purifies the deep impressions of the individual's samskaras, the driving and often hidden karmic forces behind many of your actions and conditions. Essentially, the state of Yoga Nidra gives access to the mind that is underneath our normal processing, fantasizing, and imagining consciousness. It is an excellent tool for attuning and eliminating habit patterns that are the root causes of physical and psychological problems that manifest into long-term stress and an inability to relax. So what we're going to be doing here in just a moment is opening up our space. Then, as I mentioned, we'll be going through the body awareness, the breath awareness, the sensation awareness, a guided meditation, and then into a gong bath. As you settle in here in the moment, I invite you to come to your breath and focus on the inhale and the exhale here, the expansion with the inhale, the contraction with the exhale. Drawing the breath deeply into the body on the inhale and releasing every last drop on the exhale. Letting go of anything that you may have brought in with you and seeing if you can shift into this present moment with the attention on the breath. Of course, there may be distractions going on around us today with traffic or voices, etc. Come back to the breath. Become the observer. And notice if there's any places or spaces within your body here that you may have a little discomfort or pain, tension or tightness. And bring your attention there with the breath. Giving yourself a little extra love here, gratitude for this practice. Inhaling fully, exhaling completely. Noticing that the earth is supporting you from below, that you are safe. See if you can draw that breath a little deeper into the body, maybe to the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers, the crown of the head, and all of the spaces in between. Long, full, deep breaths in. Equal and opposite exhales out. In a moment, we're going to open our practice here. And I remind you to do your best to stay awake, to allow your mind to jump from each thing I'm saying. And if you get distracted, come back to the breath, knowing you are doing it right and you are getting exactly what you need to be. practice of Gong Yoga Nidra is beginning. I invite you here to set your sankalpa, your intention, prayer, request, a positive resolve into this space. Giving yourself permission to receive the healing that is available to you in this now moment. Silently repeating to yourselves your sankalpa. Relaxing even more. Each breath softening the body. Bringing your awareness here to the right side, your right hand, your right palm, and right wrist, the right forearm, elbow, and upper arm. The right shoulder and the right armpit. The right side of the body. The right wrist. The right waist. Hip and thigh. Your right knee, calf muscle. The right ankle, the right foot, the right toes, and the bottom of the right foot. The entire right side of your body. Your left hand, your left palm, the left wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, your left shoulder, armpit, and left side of the body. The left wrist, the left waist, the left hip, the left thigh, kneecap, calf muscle, your left ankle, foot, toes, and the sole of the foot. The entire left side of your body. The top of your head, your forehead, your right eyebrow, and your left eyebrow, your right eyelid, and your left eyelid. Your nose, the right nostril, and the left nostril. Your right cheek, the left cheek, the right jaw, and the left jaw. Your tongue, your teeth, and your chin. The collarbones and the chest. Your sternum and your abdomen. The navel center, the lower belly. Your right thigh and your left thigh. Your right knee and your left knee. Your right calf muscle, the left calf muscle. Your right ankle, your left ankle. Your right heel and your left heel. Your right foot and your left foot. Your whole right leg. The whole left leg. Both legs together. Your entire right arm and your entire left arm. Both arms together. The whole body together. Your whole body together. The whole body together. The whole body together. Bringing your awareness here to your breath. We're going to practice a box breath here. Of course, if this doesn't work for your practice today, I invite you to do whatever breath work is most appropriate and or focusing on that equal inhale and exhale. If you would like to join in the box breath, it's going to look something like this. We will inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, pausing for 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, pausing for 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and pausing for 1, 2, 3, 4. Continuing on the inhale on your own, maybe sticking with the number 4 or adjusting accordingly. Equal amount of time in your pause. Exhaling for that same amount number. And the same with the pause before starting once again. If you lose count, start over once again. Letting your breath and your counting relax. Staying connected to the flow of your breath and in this relaxing state. And yet remaining awake and aware. I will name some objects and you should try to visualize them. Noticing any feelings, awareness, sensations that may come up. Keep your mind going from image to image. A cold winter day. A cold winter day. A leafless tree in the sun. A leafless tree in the sun. Frightened dog barking. A frightened dog barking. Black stones in a clear stream. Black stones in a clear stream. An old woman crying. An old woman crying. A knife in an empty glass. A knife in an empty glass. Apple pie baking. Apple pie baking. A child in an empty room. A child in an empty room. Ashes on a wooden floor. Ashes on a wooden floor. The wind banging a door. The wind banging a door. Smiling Buddha. Smiling Buddha. Broken window in the rain. Broken window in the rain. Kittens nursing with claws. Kittens nursing with claws. White roses blooming. White roses blooming. An ice cream cone melting. An ice cream cone melting. A tombstone covered in blood. A tombstone covered in blood. A restless tiger in a cage. A restless tiger in a cage. Your favorite cozy sweater. Your favorite cozy sweater. Snowflakes falling on a moonlit night. Snowflakes falling on a moonlit night. A yogi in a cave. A yogi in a cave. Bells ringing on a rope. Bells ringing on a rope. The smell of a campfire. The smell of a campfire. A mother holding her sleeping child. A mother holding her sleeping child. Relaxing in a warm bath. Relaxing in a warm bath. A torn and patched coat. A torn and patched coat. Incense burning on the altar. Incense burning on the altar. A field of sunflowers. a field of sunflowers. The full moon rising. The full moon rising. A babbling creek. A babbling creek. The sun on your skin. The sun on your skin. Petting a puppy dog. Petting a puppy dog. Imagining that you are laying in the grass on a blanket, watching as the sun sets on the horizon. There's a warm, gentle breeze on your skin. And you notice as the sky starts to take on the hues of orange and pink. It looks as if there is a watercolor painting happening just above you. There are white puffy clouds that are changing shapes and also taking on some of the colors. The bright blue sky fades into a purple, pink, soft, lovely scene. The birds are chirping in the trees. And the golden hour is now done. And as you lay here at dusk, supported by Mother Earth, and watching the beautiful sky, you notice the full moon rising in the distance. First a tiny part of the circle illuminating, getting bigger and bigger on the horizon, and reflecting the colors of the sky, the orange, pink, reddish hues. The moon seems especially large this evening as the sky continues to transition into darkness. And yet the light of the moon is shining brightly and creating a sparkling reflection around you. The birds are starting to settle in, and there's just a few song notes left coming from the trees as you notice a stillness and a silence all around you. You can see the moon's different colors, textures, and it's so large it's almost as if you could reach up and touch it. As you close your eyes here, as you're laying in the grass under the night sky, you can still see the light filtering through your closed eyes and illuminating into your third eye. There is an luminous, iridescent light shining brightly, and it's picking up all the sparkly colors of the rainbow here. And it feels as if with each inhale, you're drawing that moonlight in as it pours into every cell of your body. And when you exhale, you radiate that light beyond your physical body, lighting up the spaces and places around you. Continuing with that breath and that connection of the moon energy. You can feel the waters flowing within you, balancing the creativity and the emotions. Washing away any sadness, anger, grief, or despair. Softening any worries or doubt. And releasing any anger, shame, or guilt. Flowing in love from the light of the moon and the support of Mother Earth here. Your internal fires are transmuting any areas that are holding on to density so that more light may enter into all the places and spaces in, around, and through you. It's almost as if you're floating with the clouds. You are supported by a gentle, soft caress, an embrace of love. Staying with these feelings, with these sensations, and any emotions that may come up, and yet allowing yourself to be the observer and let go. Floating with your breath. Maybe seeing shapes or patterns, colors or sacred geometry here. Receiving any messages or downloads, activations or codes. Whatever is needed for this now moment. Staying connected to the breath. Bringing your awareness back into the breath, traveling from the tips of the nose, through the throat, across the collarbone, into the ribs, lungs, diaphragm, and belly, before exhaling completely out. When you are ready, another full, long, deep inhale. And an equal and opposite exhale. Arriving back into this time and space and in our physical body as we continue to connect with the breath. Adding a little movement that may feel appropriate for you, a wiggle, a stretch, and I invite you to roll onto the side when you are ready, snuggling into that fetal position, the rebirth. Body, mind, and spirit is balanced here. Our chakras are aligned. We continue to integrate these frequencies, messages, and downloads into all the places and spaces, into the cells and the DNA. Sending your breath to the backside of the body as you give yourself permission to release and let go of anything, any residuals that no longer serve you, with ease and with grace. When you are ready and with support, coming up to a seated position to close our practice. Once you come and sit tall, you can have your legs crossed or out in front of you, maybe something seated under your bum if that feels good. Eyes can be soft or that gentle gaze here. Still want to keep our jaw soft, our spine long, our navel engaged, heart center open with our shoulders across our back. Imagining we have that nice string gently creating that long spine. If you'd like to join me, you can bring your hands in front of you, rubbing the palms together and creating a little friction and heat, connecting our left and right side, the yin and yang energy, the receiving and the giving, the feminine and the masculine. And when you are ready, pausing in that prayer position, maybe placing the thumbs at the sternum, maybe the hands directly on the belly and the heart, wherever you are drawn here. They can always go in your lap. Giving yourself that loving gratitude for showing up for yourselves this morning, for each other, for the shifts that we have created in the 7 generations before and after us, for the light that we carry and ripple out beyond all time and space. Gratitude for all who have assisted us on this journey with the lessons and the blessings. Our practice of Gong Yoga Nidra is now closed. Thank you all so much for being here. I am still Michelle, and I wish you all a beautiful remainder of your day going into the weekend. I like to call today Friday Eve. You can call it whatever you like. Time is an illusion. We are still in the full moon energy of Leo fire sign. You may be feeling some heat from the internal or external. Remember, everything is temporary and it's always working in your favor. And as I said earlier, we're exactly where we need to be, or we will be somewhere else. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if anybody wants